Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Sisterhood Check-In. I am Nadira Lewis, and I want to take the time to thank you for joining me in my weekly broadcast every Friday at 10 o'clock here on Facebook and YouTube. If you are watching us on YouTube, please make sure that you click the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification button so that you can be every time we upload a new video. Watching us via Facebook, make sure that you click the like and the share button if you've been blessed by the content that you've been receiving this far. I'm excited because today I'm going to do something a little different. I've been about some things, having some conversations, and there's some things I want to actually go over. So before I do that, I just wanted to just take the time to tell you guys welcome. Go ahead and for those that have had a really difficult time this week, I got a video that I want to play for you. So after this video, we're going to go ahead and go into today's broadcast. And today we're going to talk about 15 ways. 15 ways, guys. All right. 15 ways to, I can't believe, but I got so excited. I forgot the name of the 15 ways to stay grounded. So make sure you stay with us. We'll be back after this video. Love sometimes. And thank you for joining us here on the Sisterhood Check-In broadcast. Today, I'm going to talk to you about 15 ways to stay grounded. A lot of the times we go through so much stuff during the week, guys. There's just so much information to consume, so many things that we go through, especially if you're a mom and you work in a job and you're trying to start your own business. Started your business, or you don't have a job and you are trying to find a job. Sometimes there's just some things that just come up that bombard our mind and we just get overwhelmed. We just have a hard time staying grounded, both physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So I want to talk about some ways that you can actually stay grounded. So let me go ahead and pull this up on my screen. It's going to be like a short little presentation. We're going to talk about, and you guys can still interact. Thank you. I see Gwen has joined us. Thank you, Gwen, for joining. You can still in the actual comment section, and I will make sure that I answer those questions too. But we're going to talk about 15 ways to stay grounded. Okay. Go ahead and get this up. All righty. Let me get this up. Give me a few seconds to get this up and we will be ready to go. Give me 1 second. Make sure I put it up on my screen so that you guys can see it. All right. So we're going to talk about 15 ways to stay grounded. And I'm just going to wait for it to pop up on my screen. 15 ways to stay grounded. So make sure you have a pen and paper so that you can follow along to understand exactly what I mean. Do you sometimes feel overwhelmed? Do you feel as if you're juggling multiple responsibilities and trying to keep up with the constant change? I know that I do. A lot of times we have so many things that we're doing at one time. And sometimes, like I said, you're working a job, you're trying to start a business, you're trying to take care of your children if you're a parent, you just struggle with trying to keep balance. And sometimes it can just be overwhelming, especially when you know you have a lot of things that you have to do. So I'm going to show you some ways on how we can deal with that. So what you want to do is you want to develop habits to keep your mind and your spirit grounded. Okay. And you may ask, well, how do I do that? Well, number one, slow down. Okay. We are in a world where now everything is about get up and go, get up and go. You get up in the morning, early in the morning, you get the kids to school, you rush to work, you come home, you running to cook for the kids, you struggling to find time to just really just kind of just grab your thoughts and just kind of just stay grounded. It can be really overwhelming, and it's funny because, I was thinking about this particular scripture, and it really kind of helped me kind of put things into perspective about what I was talking about when I'm talking about slowing down. And we're going to go through that. I'm going to talk about that before I actually talk about this particular slide, but since I already have it up, I'll talk about it. So what I want you to focus on is doing less and accomplishing more. And you may ask, well, how do I do that? I have too much on my plate. How am I going to do less and accomplish more? Well, you have to clarify your priorities. A lot of the times we just have so much going on. We just don't know whether we're going or coming. We just got a lot going on. So I want you to focus on setting priorities on what needs to be taken care of first, keeping the main thing the main thing. And then I want you to focus on one activity at a time. If you know that you're a parent and you know that you have to help your kids with school, you got to cook, your mind will get clouded with so many things that you have to do. Sometimes you get overwhelmed. And I know if you're a single mom or if you're a mom, period, this doesn't necessarily apply to just single moms. This just happens to moms, period. You just get overwhelmed. So I want you to focus on one activity at a time. And you might say, well, I'm going to do that. I can't do that. I have to cook for my kids. I have to send out emails. I have to run my business. I have to clean up. I have to put the kids in the bath. How am I going to slow down? Focus on one. Notice that I said focus. Focus on one activity at a time. Then I want you to pause between tasks. Let me tell you something. Everything that you have to do, and I'm getting a little bit hoarse, everything that you have to do is still going to be there. Okay? You don't have to do everything at one time and go from one task to the next task to the next task. Pause in between those tasks. If you know you have to get up early in the morning and get the kids ready, get up, get the kids ready, take a breather, go in the bathroom, take a breath, do what you have to do to finish the day. But when you get them off to school, take some time and breathe. Take a time and just pause for a moment. Pause between tasks. I was thinking about the scripture when I was telling you about it. In Luke chapter 10, verses 38 through 42, it talks about, and many of you are familiar with this particular passage, when it says, now as they went on their way, right? It says, Jesus entered a village and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teachings, right? But Martha was distracted with much serving. And she went up to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Do you not care that I have to take care of these kids by myself? Do you not care that I have to do everything? I have to provide for them. I have to be there emotionally for them. I have to try to build their business. Do you not care that I have so many things going on, let alone I barely have time to spend with you because I'm so drained. I'm exhausted from having to do all of these tasks and things that have to be done and won't get done unless I do it. So she said, so here it is. Martha tells Jesus to tell Mary, make her help me. How many times you want to look at your significant other, your child's parent, or your other kids, and you want to say, God, make them help me. I need help. I need help raising these children. I need help paying the bills. I need help getting myself organized. I need help getting things together. Make them help. Make the other parent help, right? But the Lord answered Martha, and he said, Martha, check this out. You are anxious and troubled about many things, right? But the one thing that is necessary, Mary had chosen the good portion, which was not to be taken away from her. So there's a lesson to be learned in this, is that Mary chose to slow down, even though she had a bunch of things that she had to do. Trust me, they already knew when you have company coming over and when you have different things, when you have things that have to be done, it's not that Mary didn't know that those things needed to be done. Mary chose, she prioritized what was important. She prioritized what was needful. Okay. Martha was concerned about getting all the tasks done. She was getting overwhelmed. She was anxious. And some of us are like Martha, and some of us are like Mary. Some of us are the exact same way. But I want you to take some time and look at this, and I want you to take this into consideration. I want you to slow down, because guess what? Those tasks are going to be there, honey. I can assure you that. They're going to be there. So taking a break is not going to make those tasks it's not going to make it go away fast. I'm just letting you know that right now. Okay? So slow down. Prioritize your tasks, all right? Prioritize and focus on, let me get back to my thing. Focus on one task at a time, and make sure that you pause in between. All right, so let's get to the next one. Let me get my screen back up, okay? Next, take deep breaths. Sometimes we got so much going on, we don't take time to stop and take a deep breath and breathe and be conscious of right now. We are so busy going and going and going and going from one thing to the next that we don't take time to breathe. Why do we need to take time to breathe? Because when you work on your breathing from your abdominal instead of your chest, and you lengthen your exhalations, it lowers your stress level. Try it. I have tried it. And some of our kids, let me tell you, some of our kids have tried it without them even knowing. You know, when our kids get tired of when we tell them something to do, they take that deep, long breath. Well, guess what? We need to practice doing the exact same thing, taking deep breaths to lower the stress level. All right. Use your thumb to close off one side of your nose at a time and just breathe. Just breathe. All right. Number 3, practice mindfulness. Oh my gosh. This right here. Practice mindfulness. All right. You have to learn how to live in the present. Okay. Sometimes we're planning. It's funny because I used to tell this to my daughter all the time. We plan so much for the future, and we should plan for the future. We plan so much for tomorrow that we forget to live in today. All right. So what I want you to do is I have 3 things. I have a couple of things up here I want you to practice doing. When you get up in the morning, whether you have time in the morning or before you go to bed, take some time and just meditate. Meditate on the word of God. Just sit still. Find a quiet spot. Sit down and let go of all those distracting thoughts. And I know it sounds like it's easier said than done, but you will be amazed how much stress you will release when you realize, when you stop. Because guess what? The Bible said tomorrow, take no thought for tomorrow, because tomorrow has enough thoughts of its own, right? So you're going to always have things that you have to do tomorrow. You need to focus on the present. Okay. You need to focus on where you are now, things that you're trying to do now. It doesn't mean that you can't plan for the future, but it means that you need to take some time and focus, be present. Your kids need you to be present. Your husband needs you to be present. Okay. You need to be present in your prayer time. You know, some of us get so used to praying from an aspect of we praying on the go. Oh yeah, Lord, I just, even when we saying our grace, Lord, thank you, Lord, I just thank you, Lord, I just thank you. And there are some moments when you got to go, and and you may have to pray on the go, but take time and be present. When I take my kids to daycare in the morning, we sit in the car, and though my day always starts with a list of things to do. I promise you. There's always a list of things to do. So what I do is I take time and I say, I'm going to be present in this moment. And I teach my children the Lord's Prayer. So while we're in the car, it doesn't matter that we got to get there within a certain time. It doesn't matter that I have 50 things waiting for me to do when I drop them off. I take time and I slow down, and I find time to be present with my kids. Because one thing I've learned is that no matter what happens, if something happens to you from here to the daycare or here to wherever you're going, the one thing you're going to wish is that you can go back and be present in that moment. Okay? Next, monitor how you talk to yourself. Oh my God. Some of us have so many negative thoughts going through our head, and we are basically talking. And it's almost like I told my son this, and I wrote this down. And I said, it's crazy because I gotta show you this, what I wrote. This was just like so amazing. It was just a thought that I had, because sometimes I could be going through the day and a thought will come through my mind. And I said, it's funny because, where is it? Let's see. I know I got it somewhere. Sometimes I just be writing down my thoughts and I just keep it in my little phone. I'm telling you. And I was talking about canceling the opposing voice. Okay. Sometimes you could be talking to yourself and you can have, whether it's through affirmations or through the word of God, and you could be like, I am who God says I am. I can do what he say I can do. And then all of a sudden there's that little voice in the background like, no, you can't. Who you fooling? Ain't nobody listening to you. Ain't nobody paying you no mind. You just talking to yourself. You have to cancel. And the biblical version of that is casting down every imagination and every high thing that exalts itself above the knowledge of God. Anything that goes against what you're standing on, what you're believing for. And it can be tedious because every thought that goes through your mind is not your thought. So don't take ownership and entertain every thought that goes through your head, because it doesn't mean that it's your thought. Sometimes thoughts are just planted there, and you have to go through, you have to monitor what those words are actually saying to you. So cancel the opposing voice. Monitor how you talk to yourself. Okay. One of the ways you have to do that is you have to eliminate limiting beliefs. Oh, if you grew up in a household and your mother said you ain't never going to be nothing, and your father said you ain't never going to do nothing, or you've been around family and said you ain't never going to be nothing, you're going to always be like that. Let me tell you something I do not do. We do not do that in our house. I do not allow negative, any words that can intercept what I'm believing God for myself, for my children, or for my family. So you have to intercept those thoughts. So you have to replace, you don't get rid of thoughts by just only casting them down, but sometimes you have to replace negative thoughts with positive words. So you have to replace that thought with another thought. So when you get a thought that tells you you can't do something, or you're incapable of doing or performing or being something, you have to counteract that thought with another thought. Another thing is, I want you to remember your past victories and cheer yourself on. You know, sometimes you have to stop and give yourself credit for some of the things that you've overcome. Sometimes we take for granted that we have overcome things. It may not seem big to everybody, but let me make sure my mic is still on. Okay. Remember those past victories that you have and cheer yourself on. I don't care how small it is. If you lost 5 pounds, if you lost 2 pounds, if you was able to get up 30 minutes earlier than you normally would, if you went to bed 30 minutes earlier than you normally would, if you actually paid a bill on time, give yourself credit. Let me tell you, this is the only way. If you are not intentional with the thoughts that are going through your head, what's going to happen is, as they go through, you're going to be, as you come into agreement with it, then it's going to start to manifest in your life. Okay. It's going to manifest in your life. Right. All right. Let's see. So, all right. So we said eliminating limiting beliefs. Number 5, go easy on on yourself. We are all striving to be what we're supposed to be. You may not be where you used to be. I mean, you may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. You may have used to be homeless, but now you have a roof over your head. It may not be where you want to be, but you're not sleeping in your car. You're not sleeping on the street. Go easy on yourself, right? Listen to music. Sometimes you have to just take time. I love to listen to music. Sometimes when my brain gets overclouded, I'll turn on the music real quick and I'll be like, I just need a distraction, pray, prayer changes your state of mind. It puts you in a place when you're talking to God and you're communicating your heart to God's heart and you're sitting still and you're allowing God to speak back into your heart. It changes your state, your mental state. Take a walk. Oh my gosh. You'll be surprised, as simple as that is, as taking a walk. Sometimes when I get overwhelmed, I just walk out the door. I just walk out the door and I don't say anything. I just walk out the door because sometimes before that mental breakdown is about to come, you have to learn how to put things into place to prevent that from taking place. So I'll walk out the door in a minute, in a heartbeat, and I'll stand outside. I'll walk down the street and just breathe. Some of this stuff that I'm telling you, this is stuff that I found works for me. And you may be able to do these things and find that they work for you too. But take a walk, pray, listen to some music. Be gentle with yourself if you're having a bad day. We all get those. I'm telling you, there's some days when I'm frustrated, especially when preparing for something, I get so overwhelmed. I want to knock everything over and just be like, you know what? Forget this. Because I'm such a perfectionist. There's certain things that I want done the right way. And if it doesn't get done the way I see it in my head, I'm going to have a fit and I'm going to have a meltdown. So one of the ways that I prevent from having a meltdown is that I'm gentle with myself and I say, this is just today. That doesn't mean it's going to be like, because the enemy is really good at getting you to speak things over your life that hasn't even taken place. You may have had a bad day one day, maybe an hour out of the day, but the enemy will convince you and make you think that you have a bad life. He will take that bad day or a bad hour in the day and make you feel like your whole life is a joke. Make you feel like every decision that you make is wrong. Make you feel like you can't do nothing right. And now you have all these thoughts coming in the back of your head, infiltrating your mind. You have to be intentional. So be gentle with yourself. It's okay. We all have bad days. Number 6, engage in meaningful activities. Oh, I'm telling you, sometimes when you do stuff, when you engage in meaningful activities, you really start to understand your strength, right? Spend time doing things that create a sense of flow. I love being creative. I can sit at my desk and I can create and do all kinds of things for hours at a time because that is my gift and my talent. I can create things all day and be content, find fulfillment in things that you do, whether it's creativity, whether it's hobbies, whether it's planting, cleaning up your house, doing yard work. Find fulfillment in doing something, right? Not just only for you, but do it for somebody else. You'll be amazed that you think you go through some stuff and you think you have a bad day, and you might see somebody else or talk to somebody else who have it worse, 10 times worse than you. And you can look back and be like, man, I thought I had it bad. And this person over here, they just lost this or they just lost that. And you think, oh man, I don't have anything to complain about, right? So understand your strength, right? Number 7, learn how to connect with people, with others. Get out your house. Get out your bedroom. Get out your bed. Get out your state. Get out your city. Get out the car. Get out the tub. Get out the bed. Do something. Connect with other people, because you'll be amazed that when you connect with other people, you find that you will develop a support system, right? Find a community of people that can support you. Everybody's not going to support you, and that's fine. Create, you have to find people that not only just tolerate you, but celebrate you. Happy that you're in their presence, glad to see you every time you come around. And they're always they're always encouraging you and encouraging them. Find yourself, connect yourself with people where you can not only be the receiver of encouragement, but that you can give encouragement. Oh my gosh, you'd be amazed how much that makes a difference. Create opportunities to laugh. I say this over and over again all the time. I love y'all memes on Facebook. I'm telling you, sometimes I have me some belly aching laughs on Facebook at some of these memes. I'll be watching TikTok and I'll sit under the cover with the covers over my head, just busting out laughing at videos, because laughter is medicine to your soul. It does something to you when you can laugh at something. There's something that goes on in the body that just changes your mental state when you have a belly aching laugh. I'm telling you, you got to try it one day. Develop deep conversations with people like families and friends that you love. Sit down and stop talking about surface stuff. How's the weather? What you doing today? Have some deep conversations with people. Find out what's going on in other people's life. Find out what it is that they're doing. You never know. You might be a source of encouragement to them. So surround yourself with support, no matter who it is. Number 8, oh my gosh, gratitude. Some of us will change our mental state and if we just learn how to just be grateful. I'm just saying. I'm gonna pause on that one. Some of us just need to be grateful, to express that we are grateful, because guess what? Some of y'all should have been dead. Some of us, I'm going to include me, should have been dead a long time ago, but God spared your life and he gave you an opportunity to live and fulfill the plan and purpose for your life today. That's enough to be grateful. Some of y'all, your kids went to school and they didn't catch COVID. Some of you, your kids went to school and they came back. Some of you woke up this morning with all your fingers and your toes. And even if you didn't have all your fingers and your toes, I'll go even deeper than that. Hey, you woke up. You woke up with breath in your body. You woke up with a roof over your head. You was able to go into your refrigerator and find that you had food to eat. You was able to turn on your hot water and take a bath. I hope you took a bath. Some of you were able to get in your car and drive to work. Some of you were able to use your legs to get on the bus to go to work. Come on now. Count your blessings. Okay? Let others know how much they mean to you. Some of us need to get out of our comfort zone. We don't like talking to folks. We don't like it's all about me and myself. No, get out and be an encouragement. Start depositing in other people's lives, right? Look for ways to impact other people. I don't care if it's going live. I don't care if it's going over and helping another mom that may need help with her children. Find a way to impact other people in their lives. Don't just only think about yourself. Number 9, strengthen your faith. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Listen to this. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 22. Said, for everything there is a season and a time for every matter under the sun. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. There is everything that happens to you in your life, always remember it's always a time or a season. All right. I heard this a long time ago, and I thought this was really powerful. And what they said was this particular person, they said, one thing you can count on is when spring comes, or after, or should I say fall, it's a guarantee fall's going to come every year, right? According to the seasons. Fall is going to come every year, the same time, every year. It's a guarantee. You can count on it, right? But you can also count on the winter month coming right after that, right? It's a guarantee, right? Based on times and seasons, it's a guarantee that the winter is going to come once a year, right? It's also a guarantee that spring is going to follow winter. It's a guarantee. There's also a guarantee that following spring, that there's going to be summer, right? It's a guarantee, right? So you have a guarantee that with every fall or winter, there's always going to be a spring and summer coming right behind it. It's a guarantee. Now, I don't know about you. I've been on this earth for 47 years, and I've never seen summer not come. I've never seen spring not come. I've never seen winter and fall not come. So just like you can guarantee that there's going to be times in your life where you're going to feel like you're in the winter months and you're in the fall months where things are going to be doom and gloom, and it's not, and it just looks like, oh my gosh, just nothing's going the way you want it to. You can guarantee that it's a season, right? And you can also guarantee that a new season is going to come, that spring and summer is going to come, right? So just know that whatever it is that you deal with or go through, it's just going to be a season, guaranteed. Contemplate your purpose and your beliefs, right? Find a community where you feel accepted and inspired, and connect with like-minded people. Read the Bible. You know, one of the ways to strengthen your faith is to, you know, especially if you consider yourself a believer and a follower of Jesus Christ, without faith, it's impossible to please him. For he that comes to God must first believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So you want to strengthen your faith, then strengthen your understanding of the word of God. Take time and invest. We invest in a whole lot of other things. We invest in businesses. We invest in our children. We invest in our homes. We invest in cars, but we don't take time to invest in our own selves. We don't take time to invest in the very thing that we need to make it through hard times, and that is your own ability to overcome. You can't overcome because you are so overwhelmed with things that are external. I had heard this, and I to myself, I said, "Oh my God, I gotta show you this. This is so amazing." And I'm gonna do this on one of my other videos. But I thought this was worth saying, that that your value is determined by your mindset. So if you always in a sense of hopelessness, then you have to check and see, one, what's going through your head, what thoughts are going through your head, what is going through your eye gate, your ear gate, what are you listening to, who are you listening to, where are you, what is in your atmosphere. There are things that you can do to strengthen your walk and to strengthen your faith, so that you can be able to make it through some of those limiting beliefs, right? 10. Oh, we got this all down for a moment. We can think positive when things are going well. Oh, yeah. If I got my money going the way I want to, oh, I'm real positive. If the kids are acting the way they're supposed to, oh, I'm real positive. But when things get to be really tough, it's hard to think positive. So I want you to look on the bright side. Create resilience by having an upbeat attitude. You know, there's a lot to be said. When you change your mind, your mental state, it changes everything around you. It changes how you receive. It changes how you perceive. you can create resilience by just a change of attitude. And I'm going to go in before we get to our next one. I'm going to talk about the habits. Now, the first part I talked about habits to keep your spirit and your mind. Now we're going to talk about ways to keep your body grounded. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break so that you guys can take a moment and actually just regroup, right? And think about some of the stuff that I said. Are you guys really enjoying this so far? I'm telling you, I've learned a lot. I see so many of your comments. Let's see, before I go to commercial break, let's see. Okay, Monique, thank you for joining us. Okay, Monique says she see. And Letiska says, amen, absolutely, and grateful for all things. And then we have a Facebook user says, okay, now you're gonna make me laugh. Monique says, all right. She says, yes. So absolutely. Okay. Then we have somebody else says, yay, Nadira, thank you for sharing this video with us. No problem. I'm telling you, I'm all about helping. And then this person says, go sis. All righty. All right, correct. And Sharonda says, yes, balance is the key. Oh my gosh, don't we know? Absolutely. Facebook user. Music or just quiet time with God. Yes, I'm telling you. Indeed, Monique. Monique talked about atmosphere. Yes, absolutely. Life and death in the power of your tongue. Absolutely. Art. Art is another thing that you can do. Absolutely. Absolutely, Monique. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the things that ground you physically. We'll be back after this.
Are you a woman in need of wisdom? Do you sometimes battle with separating who you are now versus who you feel like you ought to be? Do you question God's plan for your life? Is there a sense of uncertainty in the areas of choosing healthy relationships? Hi, I'm Nadira, CEO and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy. We offer classes and webinars in the area of life and business so that you can be equipped to succeed in the marketplace. For enrollment or for more information, please visit us at www.womenofproverbscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the inside.
Back here on Sisterhood Check-In, and today we are doing something a little bit different. I am talking to you about 15 ways that you can stay grounded emotionally and spiritually and physically. So we went through the first half. We talked about some things. In this segment, we are going to talk about ways to keep habits to keep your body grounded. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the presentation again. Just give me a moment. Let me pull it up. All right, so what are some habits to keep your body grounded? Okay, let's go through. Number one, adjust your posture. Some of us have really bad habits sitting in a chair. I mean, we slouch in the chair. We don't realize it affects your posture, affects everything, right? How you sit in the chair affects everything. You be amazed, right? You will be like, oh, it just don't seem like it's fine. It don't, that ain't really got, one don't have anything to do with the other. But in actuality, it does. Your posture has a lot to do with staying grounded, right? Stand up straight. So how can we adjust our posture? We stand up straight. The way you hold your body can help you feel balanced and give you more strength and energy, right? Stand up straight and tall with your shoulders back and your stomach tucked in, and check your head. Make sure that your head is level and that your knees are slightly bent. This may seem like, oh my gosh, Nadira, I'm fine. You will be amazed that when you sit up in the correct posture, it affects your mental state. Believe it or not, as long as your physical state. Exercise. It don't have to be a whole lot. You don't have to go running around the block, and just, if you like, walk the door, walk up the street, walk up your stairs, stay active, exercise, keep your body fluids moving, keep your blood circulating, exercise, because you know that old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? If you don't use that mobility, you will lose it. Trust me. Working out keeps your body and mind in top condition. Aim for 30 minutes of physical activity three times a week, whether it's in a gym or whether it's at home. If you can go to the gym and you can afford paying for a monthly membership, go do it. You might be able to interact with other people, be able to meet other people and impact their lives, as we talked about in the first half. Or you might be able to go there and be able to gain support or be of support to somebody else. Or you can be at home and join different fitness programs and just sit on the floor. And, or, you know, I'm sure like now with the phone, you got all kinds of apps now that allow you to work out from the phone. You don't even have to leave, you know, but 30 minutes a day, you know, do some sort of physical activity. Eat a balanced diet. Oh my gosh. Every Tuesday we are in, if you haven't, if you're not a part of the Women of Proverbs Wisdom Clinic, I really need you to join this group. Every Tuesday, we're going to be talking about, we're going to have Charmaine Harrison, and she's going to be teaching us about the importance of eliminating waste from our body and eating healthy foods, right? So one of the ways you can eat a healthy diet, and that's every Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the Women of Proverbs Wisdom Clinic. So if you're not a part of that group, make sure you go over to that group and join. I'm getting ready to do some amazing things in that group. Next, make natural foods a part of your diet. Some of us, oh my gosh, in the beginning, it may be tough. There are things that you can switch out to help you adjust to dealing in making natural foods a part of your daily habit. But this is my view about it, okay? When you refuse to make natural foods a part of your daily diet, what happens is some people might say, well, it's too expensive. I don't want to do that. You know, I'd rather just eat this way and just trust God that my body going to be well. But the problem is you either pay now or you pay later. And just like inflation goes up, you know, over time, guess what? You pay more when you don't take care of your body and you don't take care of your mind and you don't manage your emotions. What happens is you pay that price later on, and it's a price that you're not willing to pay, right? Cut back on sugar and salt. Oh my gosh. I have eliminated sugar from my house completely. You know, you have to be intentional and find ways to be able to at least be able to do or be intentional with the things that you want to do. Some people say, I want to lose weight. I want to do this, but you won't give up nothing. You won't do anything to make it happen. You say, I don't want to, you know you got high blood pressure, but you won't do anything. You won't give up anything to be able to see the results that you want. So if you want to lose weight, then there are things that you have to do. If you are having problems with your body and your doctor or your herbalist or whoever it is, your nutritionalist, have given you instructions on what to do, follow along what they do. Do what they tell you to do. Don't be hard-headed. Come back. Like my mother-in-law used to say, ain't no plate of food gonna take me to the grave. Okay? Rest. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna let that sit right there. Rest and sleep. Okay. There is a difference between just sleeping and resting. When you are resting, you can sleep 3, 4, 5 hours and get up and feel refreshed versus just sleeping for 3 or 4 hours and feeling like you ain't never shut your eye. You have to be able to rest and sleep and give your body the time to restore itself. Okay. Pay attention. All right. Pay attention to the quality of sleep that you get. If you notice that you're sleeping 3 hours, or I'm sorry, if you're sleeping 8 hours and you're still feeling exhausted, you sleep 8 hours, a full 8 hours a day, and you're still tired all the time, you might want to take some time to evaluate what it is. What are you eating? What are you listening to? What are you saying to yourself? What's going on in your mind at the time that's causing you not to be able to get the quality of sleep that you need? Is it the bed that you're sleeping in? Is it that you live with somebody and you don't have the ability to have a quiet environment? Pay attention to the quality of sleep that you get. And if you notice that you're not able to rest in the time that you're able to sleep, you have to make some changes. Okay. Turn off the phone and the TV. Turn off the TV. Turn off the phone. Sometimes I'm laying down and I have my phone next to me and I get 100 different notifications from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, emails, all kinds of notifications. And it makes it difficult for me to really experience the rest that my body needs. And I had to really take some time and say, you know what? I have to shut some things down, because if I'm not fully rested, no matter how many hours I get, if I'm not rested, it's going to affect my performance. It's going to affect my mood. It's going to affect my attitude. I'm going to be snappy. I'm going to feel like I'm going to be overworking myself and doing some things over and over. And I'm going to be like in circles. And I'm going to be like, well, dang, I did this a long time ago. I could have been done. There's times when I get good rest, guys, and I'll sit there and I'll get a ton of things done. Versus when I don't sleep, when I don't rest that well, and I can be asleep for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours and still feel like crap. And I realized that my quality of, when I pay attention to the quality of sleep that I have to look and see if I didn't rest today, I didn't get the rest that I need. I have to look at my activities, look at what's going on I have to do inventory, look at what's going on in my mind, look at what's going on around me. What is keeping me from getting quality of sleep that I need? I don't have to always have 8 hours. 8 hours is good, but I don't always need 8 hours to be fully rested. All right. All right. Your daily choice. And I want you to remember that your daily choices can help introduce more and harmony in your life if you apply some of these principles that I've talked about. And it's not hard. You just have to be intentional. It's not difficult to do some of the things that I suggested. You just have to be intentional with doing it. Okay. And if you want to learn about more about the different types of life classes that I do, make sure you visit my website at www.womanofproverbscoaching.com. All right. And I am going to open up the floor for anybody that wants to ask questions, have any comments. So if you actually want to engage with me and you have a question you want to ask me, if you have something that you want to share, please make sure you leave it in the comments and I will go ahead and read it. If you have a testimony, right, and you want to be able to share that testimony with us here, with my audience here on the Sisterhood Check-in broadcast, make sure you send me an inbox at the @ Woman of Prov. Okay. And if you haven't done so already, I don't know if many of you don't know. You may have, you may not. I'm going to assume that everybody doesn't know. But I recently, during the pandemic, wrote a book about my life story. And it's called What Happened to You? What happened to me? How did I get here? And I share with you in my book some of the mindsets that I had to go through to get to where I am now, and to be able to develop a perspective about the things that I go through. Because 90% of life, 10% of life is what happens to you. I don't care what it is. It can seem like it's 90%, it can seem like 100%, but 10% of life is what happens to you. 90% is how you interpret it, how you respond to it. So I share in my book some of the things that I've learned on how I overcame some of the things that I went through. So if you haven't done so, please make sure you go to the link bit.ly or / autograph by Nadira. You'll have an autographed book by me, and I have a book downstairs. I don't know why I didn't bring it upstairs, but I'll bring it up next time. So this week this is what I have for you this week. We don't have a guest today because I wanted to be able to share this important this opportunity with you guys and let you know, take time to ground yourself emotionally and spiritually so that you can be fully present for your family, for your spouse, for your job, for your business. If you're not present, if you're not there, what good is it? Because guess what? If something happens to you, somebody else is going to pick up your business and go. Guaranteed. If you're working at a job, if you don't stay grounded, somebody else is going to take that job and do it as if you was never even there, right? If you don't stay grounded and you don't allow yourself balance, then what happens is your children grow up without you and somebody else raises them. Life goes on. All right. Life goes on whether you are ready for it to happen, for it to go that way or not. So take time to make sure that you spend time being grounded in your mind, in your body. Do both the practical and the spiritual and the physical so that you can get the results that you need to be able to succeed. All right. And let's see. Letiska said, amen. Absolute. Amen. Be careful for all, be grateful for all things. Yes, guys. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed with things that are not going the way we want it to, not realizing that it could be worse. Somebody else is in a different next door to you could be going through something much worse than what you're going to. So make sure that you make time in every area of your life. Like my best friend says, she said this to us. She said this before my husband died. And she said, you have to learn how to make time. And that really just settled in my spirit because it's so easy to get busy. You can even be busy and productive, but it's okay to be busy, but it's okay to slow down too, because you have to have time to reflect and see what's not working and causing you to be overwhelmed. That's the thing that we miss, right? Charmaine says, great point. Exactly. You understand. You know what I mean, Charmaine. It's like we have to sometimes take inventory and see why am I overwhelmed? We don't take the time to look at that. We're just so focused on where we're trying to go that we don't take time to figure out that we're falling apart now. So take time and take inventory emotionally and spiritually and physically where you are now so that you can be able to focus on going wherever direction you want to go and you can be fully present in that journey. What good is it to head towards a journey you're not fully present in? Because guess what? If you're frustrated, you're overwhelmed, you're not focused, you're not fully present towards the direction you want to go. You're not fully present in that business. You're not fully present at your job. You're not fully present with your children. If you're not focused, if you haven't taken time to balance, the Bible says a false balance is an abomination. All right. So take time. It's okay to slow down and catch your breath. All right. I want you to know that it's okay to slow down and catch your breath and reflect and think about where you are so that you can be able to know that when you continue your journey, that you're heading in the right direction. Some of us think we're walking straight and we're walking like this. Some of us think we're walking towards our vision like this and we're walking like this. We think we're walking straight into our vision, but really we're going like this. Because we haven't taken time to focus and pay attention to what's going on around us. It is crucial. It is vital that you take time to slow down and reflect and think about where you are. Think about where you are and think about why you're thinking about where you want to go. And it's okay in the journey to stop. Just like if you're running a marathon, you don't just run a marathon. Sometimes as you're running, sometimes you have to slow down a little bit. Catch your breath and then speed back up, right? The Bible says that we ought to run this race with patience. We don't understand that sometimes things happen in our life to slow us down, to make us reflect, to make us redirect our journey and where we're supposed to go. You need to pay attention to that, you know. And I'm not saying you're supposed to be analytical and walking around just looking around with your eyeballs poked out at everything, but I want you to be consciously aware that if your body is getting overwhelmed, if your children are telling you, I don't have time with, I'm not spending time with you. Success is different for many different people, right? You can have all the, what profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? What does it profit your family for you to be able to spend all your days and all your time going after success or wealth, and you haven't taken time? You can, there's nothing wrong with having things, all right? Let me just make that clear. For some of y'all that's good, that want to take my words and twist it, okay? There's nothing wrong with desiring things. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be better. There's nothing wrong with wanting to work towards a goal. But sometimes you have to take time and just, and I'm gonna read you this. I brought this up for a reason, and I didn't get a chance to read it all to you, but I want to read something to you. Right? You guys, stay with me a few more minutes while I show you this. Please yes in the chat if you don't mind staying in the chat, if you don't mind staying a few more minutes. All right. And 1 John chapter 2:17 says, "And the world is passing away along with its desires. But whosoever does the will of God abides forever." There's nothing wrong with having dreams. There's nothing wrong with having goals. But there's going to be a time that those things are going to pass away. And only the things of God is going to remain. So as you're growing and moving towards your business, as you're growing and moving towards that higher position at your job, I want you to pay attention to what's happening to you. And I told this to my kids, pay attention to what's happening in you. How did I put it? Let me see. I had a way that I worded it. I said, be careful what you become on the way to where you're going. If your children are telling you, I don't have time, let me tell you something. You have a season when you are with your children, all right? Especially if you're a single parent, you know. You have a season to be with your children before they grow up. You will never get that time again, all right? And if you spend all of your time pursuing things and not taking the time to balance and spend time with them, then you're not raising your children, because raising your children means you're actively involved in their growth mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I used to get a lot of heat. Exactly, Monique, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I used to get a lot of heat because there are things that I wanted to do. And I had a really good friend of mine that really had to slow me down because I was always going. I gotta do, because the more I felt like I did, the more I felt like I'm pushing towards a goal. And it's difficult because when you're goal oriented and you get laser focused, you go after that thing no matter who or what is chasing you. And that has its place and its season and its time. But if you are a mother and you have children, your priority and your first ministry and your first success is the stewardship that God gave you over your kids. And I didn't lose anything by slowing down and taking care of my children first. I didn't lose anything. I am where I am supposed to be right now in this season of my life because I have taken the time to slow down. And why, instead of running after everybody else, trying to run it towards my vision and running after everything else, instead of taking time and allowing God to help me bring balance so that I can be there for my children emotionally. My children have been raised. They didn't just grow up in my house. I raised my children. I made sure I was there for them emotionally and physically. And so even though you're pursuing, you may have a vision, a dream, a goal, or something that you want to do. It's a beautiful thing when God gives you the ability and stewardship to steward a vision. It's a blessing. All right. But even in that vision, if he's giving you children along with that vision, your focus should not be 100% on your vision. You have to learn balance. And sometimes you have to slow down to develop that balance. All right. I'm a businesswoman. I have many different types of businesses. I have 6 children, 4 adult children and 2 small children. My adult children, for the first half of my life, I was working 2 jobs and going to school, trying to provide a better life. Well, guess what? My children are grown. My children were almost grown by the time I got finished at that point. So I didn't get that opportunity to really spend the time with them that I needed to. Thank God that He allowed them to still grow up and still have a relationship with Him and still have a good head on their shoulders and still do well in life. But I made it my goal, and I'm constantly reminding myself even the more now that as I grow my different businesses, as I pursue success outside of the world's view of success, because they're different. Success means different things to different people. My version of success means you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do in the season that you're supposed to do it. To me, that is success. And everything else that involves that is incorporated in that. Success to me is not when you've reached a certain dollar amount. Success is not to me when you have this many businesses or business clients. To me, success is I'm at a point in my life where I am content and I am doing the will of God for my life. That means I am walking out His will for my life. And I am constantly in discovery mode, finding out what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, not only in my children's life, but whose life am I supposed to impact? Let me tell you something. If you are living and breathing today, you are living and breathing because God has created you to impact, to make a difference in somebody else's life. All right. Whether that's helping them with their kids, helping them with their business, helping them with a service, helping them by just being there. You have a part to play in this life. And I want you to focus on finding out what that is. And if you haven't done so already, that is the purpose why I built the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy. Because in the Wisdom Academy, I teach you, I go through different life lessons where I take my experiences in life and turn them into life lessons. And I show you how to do the same thing. I show you how to take the things that you've overcome and make an impact in somebody else's life and get the benefit of both worlds. So that's enough of that I'm going to say about that. And I'm going to go ahead and do another commercial, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, if you have anything that you want to say, any comments or questions, make sure you leave it in the comments and I'll make sure I answer it for you. But we're going to go ahead to our last commercial, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Refugees, dirty immigrants, asylum seekers, job stealers, that is what they see. Beautiful faces, thick accents, a melting pot of culture, holding 3 to 4 jobs, back pocket of hopes and dreams, seekers of opportunities, that is what we see. I am Georgia Lawrence, the founding attorney of Georgia Lawrence LLC. I was born and raised in Jamaica. I migrated to the United States with 2 suitcases and $200 to seek a better life. I understand firsthand the importance of having a fighter on your team to navigate the complexity of the immigration system. Hence the reason I chose immigration and human rights law. Here at Georgia Lawrence LLC, we take pride in connecting our passion and purpose to your plan. Give us a call today.
What's going on, guys? It's Daily Trades with Chris here. I'm hosting a 7-day webinar for you to understand how to trade the stock market, futures market, and the forex market. This one particular trading strategy has 3 steps. Okay, very simple. All you have to do is look for a trade, place your trade, and watch your trade play out. In this 7-day webinar, I'm going to be going over exactly how to get into the market, where to get out of the market, where to set your stop loss, take profit, and you're going to have a risk management rule in place too as well. Now, this Z trade, in fact, just dropped 400 points on oil. If you do the math on that, that's about $4,000 just from one contract. If you want to learn how to make $4,000 in one single day with the Z trade, respond back to this email right here. Comment below in this video, and I'll get back to you with all the information that you're looking for.
All right, so we are in our last segment. All right, if you have any questions or comments for me, make sure that you actually leave it in the comments right there. I'll sit around for a few more minutes before we wrap up. Thank you guys for joining me. This is something different that I'm doing today. We'll be back next week with something a little different. So I just wanted to take this time just to share with you. If you enjoy and want to see more of these videos, make sure you hit a comment and leave a comment in the video, and I will leave more in the Wisdom Clinic. You have to be a part of the Wisdom Clinic to be able to see these particular videos that I'm going to do. So if there are no further questions or responses, I'll give it a few more minutes and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I just wanted to send a special thank you for each and every one of you that watch Sisterhood Check-In every week faithfully. I appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button, hit the notification button every time we upload a new video. And if you're watching us on Facebook and you enjoy watching us on Facebook, make sure you click like and share if you have been blessed by the content that we have been bringing each and every week. So without further ado, it doesn't look like we have any additional questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. So just like I say, just like hurt people, transform people can transform people too. I'll see you next time.
Are you a woman in need of wisdom? Do you sometimes battle with separating who you are now versus who you feel like you ought to be? Do you question God's plan for your life? Is there a sense of uncertainty in the areas of choosing healthy relationships? Hi, I'm Nadira, CEO and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy. We offer classes and webinars in the area of life and business so that you can be equipped to succeed in the marketplace. For enrollment or for more information, please visit us at www.womenofproverbscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the inside.
Thank you.